Let us retouch this picture with mixer brush on frequency separation. All right, this is a beauty picture, and if you check link in the description, you will see a link to download this picture so that you can practice along. All right, practicing along makes you get it better. Same picture, the same technique, and the same process. All right, so without further ado, let's get started. Remember to like and subscribe to this channel if you're coming for the first time. My name is Kunle. So the first thing I will do is I want to camera roll here. I want to like expose the picture a little, just a little. Then the highlights, I'll drop it a little. Let us see the before and the after, so I think I'm good with that. Okay, but it seems the highlight is too much. Let me just reduce it more. All right, then I'll hit open. Okay. Okay, the first thing I'm going to be doing on the picture is to crop it. All right, so to do that, I'll press C on my keyboard, or you come to this icon here, and then you see this lines that allows you to crop the picture. Ensure that it is cropped to 4:5, which is Instagram size, and then I'm just going to, because I need only the face. All right, we're working on beauty picture, so I just need the face. Okay, I think that's okay. Transparent is fine, and I'll hit enter. All right, so the picture has been cropped. Then the first thing for us is to remove the hair strands and all. So I'll zoom it in, and then I will remove the hair strands. All right, before I do that, all right, so I'll pick my clone stamp tool, is right here, and I will sample around there and dent. Okay, so with that, I'm able to remove the hair strands. Now, while using clone stamp to remove hair strands, you must be sure that the hardness is a little above 50. All right, so that it's going to have sharp edges. Okay. Yeah. So all those areas that are messed up here, I'll pick mixer brush. My mixer brush, you say. So I'll pick mixer brush, and I'm going to like mix it so that they are smooth. Now here's the before and here is the after. Okay, so I'm going to like zoom it in next, and I'll remove the blemish. All right, now to remove blemish, I will use my spot healing. Now in case you see your Photoshop, all these icons scattered, you can come to this side, go to edit toolbar, and click restore defaults. All right, then click done. So all your tools will be well arranged again. So I'll go to my spot healing brush here, and then after picking it, I'll zoom in. All right, now there are several tools you can use to remove blemish, but I'm using spot healing, so just going to sample on the blemishes, and then it will remove it for you. Now you can use remove tool also, but not every version of Photoshop has it. All right, so I'm just going to use spot healing. Just sample on it, and then it's going to remove the blemish for you. All right, now you don't want to do too much. You just want to like paint on the part that has blemish, and it's just going to remove it. Okay, I've been able to remove the blemishes using spot healing tool. So let us see the before and the after. As you guys can see, all the old blemishes are off. Okay, before, after. All right, then the next thing we'll do is we jump straight to frequency separation. Okay, now everything I'm going to be doing in this picture is going to be manual. All right, there is this my frequency separation action here. I love media so much, like I always say. I don't know why, I just love media. So I will be using this media frequency separation. Now if you check the link in the description, you'll be able to download this frequency separation action so that you can use it along. All right, so I'm just going to click on the action here, and I will click on play. All right, so I will select the radius I like to use. So you just want to pick a radius where it's not too blur, and you just a radius where you just see the texture a little. Let's do 6. Let's do 5. Okay, I think I'm good with this 5. I think 5, usually say 5 is actually appropriate for our beauty picture. So I'll hit okay. Alright. Alright. So then the next thing I'll do is I'll open this frequency separation folder, and I will go to my skin tone correction. Okay. So now on the skin tone correction, I will pick my mixer brush. Now the first thing to do is actually on this skin tone correction is to paint on every dark spot on the face. All right. Every dark spots, that's what we'll do first, or otherwise you can just jump to mixer brush and start mixing. But I think I like to like paint on the skin for some dark spots. I just want to remove it, so I'll pick my brush, opacity 100, flow 3. All right, then I will zoom it in. Now there are some places here that are spots that I'm not sure I'm okay with, so I'm just going to correct them. What I will do is I will sample somewhere around here, and I'm going to paint it on those spots just to correct them. I think that is not working. Let me sample from somewhere much brighter, then I'll paint on it. Okay, now all these edges like this, I'll just paint on it, paint on all these places. All right, so I think that's okay. That way I'm just able to like brighten some dark spots. Okay. All right, so the next thing I will do is the mixer brush, and to do that I am going to create another empty layer, and I'll make it mixer brush. I'll rename it to mixer brush. I'll hit enter. Then I'm going to turn off this high frequency. I'll pick my mixer brush. Now if you look at it, look at my settings here: 80 weight, load 75, mix 90, and flow 100. Now this flow doesn't have to be 100. You can reduce it, depending on how fast you are with mixer brush. Okay, then I'll check this sample all layer. All right, now because I have the high frequency, this sample all layer has to be on. If it is not on, it will not work. All right, however, if I turn on this high frequency, this sample layer has to be off, because if it is on, it's going to mix the eye texture along with it, which will make your picture look weird. Okay, so I'm going to turn it on and turn this sample layer on as well. Sorry, I'm going to turn off this high frequency. Okay, then I'll zoom in and I'll mix. All right, picking my mixer brush, I will just mix the highlight and shadow. The idea of mixer brush is to create a smooth transition between highlights and shadows. Okay, so now you guys can watch me through as I mix the skin. Okay, so I've been able to mix the skin. All right, now as you guys can see, I mix it in a way that I didn't brush highlight into shadow and I didn't brush shadow into highlights. Rather, I just smoothen the skin and I create a smooth transition between highlight and shadow. Okay, now let's turn on the high frequency. As you can see, here is the before and here is the after. Now as you can see, that is extreme. Okay, so what you want to do next is come to this opacity and reduce it. All right, you keep reducing it until you like it, right? Until you feel it okay. So I think I'm okay at SA 80. Oh, I think 80 is much. Let's do 70. All right, here is the before and here is the after. Okay, by that way we've been able to smoothen the skin and of course still retain texture, and they are actually realistic textures. Okay, right. So the next thing I want to do is to brighten the skin, the eye rather. I want to like whiten it. So to do that, I'm going to come to this my action on eye whitening and teeth whitening. I have a tutorial on my channel where I explain how to go about that. Now before I do that, as you guys can see, this nose part is looking kind of bent. Okay, so let me fix that by turning off this high frequency and coming here. So I'll pick my mixer brush again, and then I will just correct that right there. So it's looking kind of blank. Yeah, I've reduced the opacity, but regardless, I can still do something about that. Okay, I think it's much better this way. We can lookify it later. So I'm going to play this eye whitening action. All right. So I'll zoom in. After playing it, I'll zoom in, pick my brush, foreground white, background black, opacity 100, flow 100. Then I'm going to paint on the eyes. All right. So I just paint on the eye gently. Then as well as the other one. While I'm done with that, I'll go down and I'll paint on the teeth as well. Okay. Yeah. So I'll reduce the opacity. Let me do 80. Here's the before and here's the after. Okay. Now the next thing we want to go is to actually color grading the skin. All right, that's the next thing we want to do. So in order to color grade the skin, I will be using two different methods. I will use method of shining and darkening the skin, shining the highlight part and darkening the dark part, and then I will use gradient map also. Okay, so in order to do that, first I'll open my curve and I'll click on this curve. Then I'll come to this brighter part and I'll drag it in like this. All right, that's curve. Then after doing that, I'll double click on this curve so that it gives me this layer style option. Then what I want to do is I want to remove it from the shadows. I want it only to be on the highlight, so I'll drag it from here in until it's only on the highlights. I think it's okay this way. Then I'll hold the Alt or Option key in order to disconnect these two to break it into two. So I'll hold this Alt and I'm going to drag it like this. In order to, what I want to do is to fade the transitions. All right, so let me take this out a bit, take this in. Okay, so I think that's okay. Let's just, it's okay. Let's see the before and the after. Before and the after. As you can see, it's actually really glowing. Okay, now I feel it's not getting to some part of the highlight, so I'll double click on it again and I'm going to drag it backward more and more. Okay, and I'll push this right here. All you have to do is to keep playing around until you get what you want. I'll hit okay and let us see the before and the after. Before and the after. By that way, the skin will be shining and will be glowing. Let's put the opacity to 80. Before and after. That works. Yeah, now again I'm going to click on this layer mask icon and I'll go to curves again and I will darken it. All right, I come to this side and I'll push it in. Now that's too much, just a little is okay. All right, okay, so now I'll double click on this layer again. I'll double click on it. After doing that, I'm going to come to this underlying layer again. What I want to do is I want to remove it from the highlight, so I'll drag it in by that way to remove it from the highlight. Okay, I think this works. Then I'll hold my Alt or Option key also, Alt or Option key, and I will disconnect the two in order to feather the transitions. All right, let me drag this back a bit. It depends on how bright or dark your picture is, but this technique is, there is no one way of doing it. You just have to keep playing around with it until you get it right. Okay, so I think this works. All right, let me drag it back. Okay, let me hit okay. Here is the before and here is the after. All right, so I will now, my question is, should I only paint it on the skin or is okay the way it's on the entire background? So let us see. Here is the before and here is the after. Let me reduce the opacity. Before and after. Now let's see the overall before and after of the image. Here's the before and here's the after. All right, so I think I should paint it only on the skin. As for this highlights, these curves, so I'm going to group the two. All right, then I'll select the two and I'll group it Command or Control G, and I'll come down to this layer mask icon and I'll hold my Alt or Option key and I'll click on this layer mask. So the next thing I'll do is I'll pick my brush, background color black, foreground white, and I'm going to paint on the skin alone. All right, as you can see, it's reflecting only on the skin. So all the technique I did in shining and darkening the dark parts is going to only be on the skin. Now let us see the before and the after. Before and after, as you can see, is really glowing. All right, really glowing before and after. Okay, then the next thing to do is to color grade the skin. And like I said, I usually I use solid color or gradient map, but here I want to use gradient map. So I'll come to this layer mask and I'll click on gradient map. Okay, that's weird. So I will click on this option and I'm going to come to we have neutral here, but I think I need legacy. Legacy, but let's not use legacy now. Let me use orange because she's a light skin, and I will use any of this option actually. So let me use this because she has orange on her skin, she has a bit of red, and also let me use this. We can use this. Let me use this third one and I'll hit on OK. Now I will reduce the opacity to 50. All right, change the blending mode to soft light or color. This color is not good. Let's use soft lights. Okay, so this 50 is actually too much. Let me drop it to like 30. Okay, here's the before and here's the after. All right, 30 is still too much left to me, so I'll do 20. Before and after, because I still want to retain the original tone of the picture. So I will invert it by pressing Ctrl or Command I, and I'll paint only on the skin. All right, now what I painted here I can also paint it here, and to do that I'll come here and I'll left click on this layer mask and I'll click add selection. So what I painted here to select it for me, so I'll go to gradient map as well and I'm going to paint on the skin. Okay, I'll deselect. All right, so now I've been able to like paint the gradient map only on the skin. Now I'll subtract it from the eyes and the lips, so I'll click on eraser and I'm going to like clean it off the eyes as well as the lips. Okay, now I think I am okay. So now in order to influence the brightness and shadows of the picture, I'll open this layer mask and I'll go to levels. Okay, so let us brighten it a bit by coming to this part of the levels. I'll make sure I'm on RGB, brighten it a bit, then this side we'll push it here a bit. Okay, here is the before and here is the after. Before and the after. All right, let me go to red. Let's see if we can reduce the red a little. Yeah, here is the before and here is the after. The levels makes it a really sharp. All right, so let us see the overall before and the after. Before and the after. So we've been able to take this picture, this beauty picture, from this to this in like 20 minutes or thereabout, right? And if I'm not explaining, it will even take we'll have finished it earlier, maybe 5 minutes or less. All right, so thank you so much guys for catching me on this. You can always watch the video over and over again and ensure to download the beauty picture from the link below so that you practice it along. All right, thank you so much. If you are here for the first time, remember to subscribe, like, because you know there are more other videos coming in. So with that being said, I'm going to see you guys in the next video. Bye.